Hi, Vanessa Rudge here, leading you through a grounded yin practice. I'd recommend, it's going to be very nourishing, so I'd highly recommend a bolster and a block. If you're quite flexible, then maybe you don't need that. We're going to start in child's pose, so you can bring your bolster in and have the knees as wide as the mat. And drawing the bolster in for support to lay yourself down. I'm even going to lift the head up a little more. So just taking this first moment to get yourself settled, making sure that you're comfortable. If your knees don't like this, you could stretch the legs back in more of a crocodile position. What I do love about yin is the holding of poses for a little bit longer, so we can really go into the nourishment. And as I said, focusing in on being grounded. So all the poses, we're going to be in contact with the floor. So just be aware of the floor beneath you. But even more than that, be aware of the earth. Even if you're in a high rise, just connecting into the earth beneath you. And touching, feeling, experiencing how the earth holds you. That she's always there for us, supporting. You can allow the breath to, with its ebb and flow, to keep you in the present moment. As you're aware of what's touching the floor, aware of the breath, just notice how what's going on in your life may start to unravel and become a little more distant. For me, that's part of becoming grounded as well. If I get all wound up with what's going on in life, I'm more in the head, and instead just connecting with the earth, connecting with that belly breath. And just taking a few more moments here. Letting yourself settle like a glass of muddy water that sets still and all of the sediment settles. Gravity taking the sediment with it to the earth. Sediment of your day, of your life. And as the water becomes a little more clear, as we move between the poses, you don't want to disturb the sediment much at all. So see if you can have a smoothness to your movement, or almost like a laziness about the movement, a heaviness like an elephant moving. So you can slowly press the hands into the earth and use the hands to bring yourself up, and bringing your right leg out in front, and I'm giving you yogi's choice here. So either this Janu Shavasana shape Or you can take the leg around and in more like this runner's lunge shape. And then maybe bringing the bolster in and folding yourself forward. So whatever or wherever you get to, just finding a place that works for you. So we're all going to be feeling the stretch differently. Maybe for me, I'm feeling it in the inner thigh and through the QL, the side of the back waist. But with this practice, like I said, it's maybe a little more nourishing. So rather than going right to the intensity of the edge of the stretch, just back off and instead allow yourself to really succumb to gravity. We often hold or prop ourselves up. Here, I'm just asking you to relinquish everything to gravity. Surrender and soften everything to gravity. The jaw, the neck and shoulders. Even the eyeballs, let them descend with gravity, and let your whole body descend with gravity, maybe breath by breath. This welcome invitation to let the earth hold you. And in response to that, let yourself be held. So often in life we have to hold it all together, hold all the pieces in place. Right now, you can let it all go. Feel the earth, she has you. Even if it's just for this moment. I'll just be here one more moment. And then slowly making your way up, and you can switch legs straight away. So choosing either this Janu shape or the runner's lunge shape. Taking care of your knee, taking care of everything about yourself. And again, maybe with some support. But it's nice to support the head so that it can, this frontal lobe of the brain that's often running so hot and so busy, it can bow down and cool, and again, just be held. Held by the earth. Feel her steady, rock solid energy. And generally the earth is very still, so it's nice if you can, in the poses, just let yourself be still, like that glass of muddy water again. If you're constantly shimmying and shaking it, then it doesn't have the chance to get clear. Again, being at an edge or a level that's more nourishing than intense. Be at a place where it's easy for you to let go and to be held. And the props give you a sense of that you don't need to do it all yourself. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice, dear friend? And since we're calling on further support, maybe imagine a skilled masseuse. Just for this last moment, maybe massaging up either side of the spine, their warm thumbs softening and kneading. And just enjoying. You should be at a place where you can enjoy these last few moments. Just really give yourself to this experience of being held, just so steady. This Earth Mama has you. And very slowly you can make your way up. Use your hands to bring the leg around, and if you wanted to, you can wiggle the legs a little if you'd like to. So we're going to go into a forward fold here, Paschimottanasana or caterpillar position. I need to stay more up so that for my microphone, but you can just allow yourself, and again, this gentle bowing of the head. We won't be here too long. It might be nice to be like, just give yourself the nourishment of maybe being up higher rather than lower. So this is perhaps more of a restorative in nature. Let the legs go. You may feel a stretch, you may not, and that's okay. Again, maybe those skilled thumbs can be working up and down the spine, either side of the spine, gliding with warm oil. Perhaps again, just allowing gravity. Just notice any gripping or propping yourself up. Sometimes when you're too deep in a pose, there's this holding on for dear life. We're looking for just this surrender to gravity. Become more like a pancake that's been poured into a pan. Spreading, broadening. letting everything widen. We won't be here too long. Just continue to scan through and undo all the gripping. Take the last few breaths here. And slowly bringing yourself up. Move yourself forward and coming into Shavasana shape for a moment. So we've been doing a lot of this forward folding, and it might be nice to lengthen and air out the front of the body, so you can bring the block underneath the sacrum, or you might like to use the bolster instead from bridge pose, lifting the hips up and then placing the hips back down, stretching the arms, the legs out, and even the arms overhead if you wanted to. Enjoy the lengthening, the opening. But most of all, enjoying how the earth is holding you. So much of our life we're being held and we don't even know it. So just become aware once again of the surface of the yoga mat, maybe the floor, maybe the earth, Mother Earth. And let yourself soften like a being held in a warm embrace. I don't know if you've ever had the pleasure of a hug from Amma. Just this warm embrace. A warm embrace that makes the whole body melt. You may like to stay here for Shavasana, or in a moment or two you can come up, as in bring the knees up and release the support from underneath. And allow yourself to come into Shavasana. If you would need to do a twist, you're most welcome to do that. This is your practice, your time. Speaking of, this is your practice, so do as much Shavasana as you're able to, as time permits. However long you have, savor every moment. Continue to unravel, let go, and melt. Imagining that pancake poured into the pan. Rain being absorbed by the earth. Let yourself be held in the peace of Mother Earth.